Alex Marlow here, editor-in-chief of Breitbart.com and host of Breitbart News Daily on SiriusXM Patriot number 125. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is with me. Secretary, great to see you again in person.
Alex, it's great to be with you.
So we're speaking to the Student Action Summit today. What's the message to the younger conservatives right now who are out there?
The message is we've got to retake our nation. And so I'll talk about all the good work we did all across the world, but I want them to understand that really the real risk is here in our republic. If we get it wrong in our schools, if we get it wrong in our churches and synagogues and religious freedom is denied here, then we could lose our country. And they're not going to let it happen, and I'm going to be working right alongside them to make sure it does not happen.
You're so right about this, and there's really a confluence of things that's happening, be it critical race theory, be it the open borders. They all seem to be undermining the fabric of the United States. Even the fact that we're getting so secular. I recommend that people read the Bible some more in my speech, because communing with our founding documents and our Judeo-Christian philosophy is very worthwhile at this point.
Alex, there's a part of the Democrat Party that loves communism and tyranny, right? They think that's the model. It creates equality, right?
Yeah.
Equality of outcomes. There's another part of the party that wants to do precisely what you described, which is they just want it to be like Europe. Yeah. A secular, slow growth, no entrepreneurship, no basic freedoms. But Europe, a European socialist model, those are both dangerous. They're both un-American. They're both inconsistent with who we are as a people, and certainly inconsistent with how our founders thought about the world. So yes, a good start would be reading more of the Bible and a little bit of the Federalist Papers on top of it, and you'll be all set.
I think we'll be all set, but that's not what we're being told. We're being told we need to read about our white rage and how to be an anti-racist and all of this stuff. Like, what is the ratio now of CRT texts versus the text from our founding documents, or even from the Enlightenment or the great philosophers of all time? It's totally out of whack right now. I feel like no one's talking about it aside from conservative America, which is disturbing.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about this today, right? These classics, these Western classics, the Western canon has been pushed out of the school and to read something about the 1619 Project or something, something from some 1970s Harvard Law School professor on critical legal studies. This is dangerous. It is dangerous when it affects our schools in this way, and these young people here today can feel it, they can see it, they are being oppressed by these voices. We need to make sure those voices aren't canceled, that they don't self-cancel, and then we need to do our hard work to take back school boards, boards of regents, all of those places that can actually change those curriculum and make sure we're teaching our kids about the real American history.
That's a good segue, because the 1619 main author was just found out on a podcast recently praising the Cuban regime, the communist regime. There is such a yearning for freedom in Cuba right now. This one should be a black and white issue for Americans, and yet it does seem like the Biden policy, first of all, what is the Biden policy on Cuba? And it seems like there's so much equivocation going on between the communists and the people yearning to be free.
It's remarkable to watch the Biden administration, but I think it's incredibly telling. But they don't respond. It would have taken us about 2 seconds to have a State Department release supporting the Cuban people. Might not have taken 2 seconds. No one would have even had to have asked Secretary Pompeo. They would have all known this is where we were going to land. This is how we were going to help those freedom-loving people. This administration took 3 or 4 days, and then President Biden had to read it from a 3x5 card. Why is that? It's because they believe in big government. They see communism as just a step away from what it is that they think we ought to be here in the United States. They don't understand that oppression. I was walking in here today, and I had a Hong Kong person come talk to me, a Hong Konger come talk to me, and I had someone from Venezuela come talk to me. They thanked us for what we were doing to support those freedom movements all across the world. We've got to get it right there. We've got to help those people who are yearning for freedom. We did it in Iran. We opened up the internet there. They could do this in Cuba. We know we have the technical capability to do it. And then we got to protect freedom here at home. I'm very concerned that we're losing it. Right? We had churches and synagogues and mosques shut down while bars were open. This is dangerous. This is a direction our country hasn't been in an awfully long time, and I'm counting on everyone, including the young people here today, to begin to take this back.